Fakira Dingaleshwar Swamiji, the pontiff of the Mutt, said that heads of his institutions have told Bharatiya Janata Party that Pralhad Joshi needs to be replaced by 31st March. The seer said every community is unhappy with Joshi. He has a bad reputation. Dharwad is a stronghold of Lingayat community, whereas Joshi is a Brahmin. Joshi has resolved to seek the blessing of the seer and clear the row. Veteran BJP leader and former Chief Minister BS Yediyurappa, who is a Lingayat himself, has ruled out any possibility of changing Joshi as the candidate and has said that he will speak personally to the seer and clear the misunderstanding. Yediyurappa has also added that Pralhad Joshi had no role in his ouster from the CM's post in response to seer's accusation against Joshi. Now, will Yediyurappa be able to resolve the issue for Karnataka and BJP, help Pralhad Joshi? Because fighting the election is one thing, winning becomes another thing, and that too in a state which is like squabbling. It's an Achilles heel for Bharatiya Janata Party, because ultimately all election, seat by seat, is going to boil down to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's charisma. So, will he be able to successfully fight election, dilute this accusation? On this story, I am joined by Mohammad Wajullah from Bangalore, KV Prasad, senior journalist, and Brijesh Pandey from studio. Brijesh, just frame the debate.
Well, I think BJP has again found itself at the crossroads of the Lingayat headache. The point is that the way the Lingayat seer has gone about and given an ultimatum to the Bharatiya Janata Party, this doesn't present a good picture for the BJP. It tells very clearly that that there are certain issues in which they are the one who are calling the shot and not the other way, as the party leadership would want to project in every other state. There the Lingayats have called the shot, and they have also demonstrated in action what they can do in the last assembly election.
But you see, the funny part is,
and if the BJP removes Pralhad Joshi, it is going to be the ultimate embarrassment for them.
Before I play out the bite of Pralhad Joshi and Yediyurappa, I have to say the funny part is, you have a retired politician, former Union Minister and former Chief Minister of Karnataka, actually calling the shots in the state. So BJP has retired him, but the people of the state have not retired Yediyurappa. And that's the truth, and that's the power of what you call community leadership. Let me play out the bites of Yediyurappa and Pralhad Joshi.
ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ್ ಜೋಶಿ ಅವರನ್ನ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಉದ್ಭವವಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಭಾಗದ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜನಪ್ರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರವರು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಗೆದ್ದೇ ಗೆಲ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ನನಗಿದೆ. ಲಿಂಗೇಶ್ವರ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ಹತ್ರ ನಾನೇ ಖುದ್ದಾಗಿ ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ತಪ್ಪು ಗ್ರಹಿಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅವನು ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ.
ಪೂಜ್ಯ ದಿಂಗಾಲೇಶ್ವರ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗೆ ನಾನಿಷ್ಟ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಅವರು ಒಬ್ಬ ಸುಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ಪೀಠದ ಮಠಾಧಿಪತಿಗಳು. ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಪಾರವಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆ, ಗೌರವ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಪೀಠದ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ನನಗೆ ಅಪಾರವಾದ ಗೌರವ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಲಿಂಗಾಲೇಶ್ವರ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳಾಯಿತು ಮತ್ತು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಗುರುಗಳಾಯಿತು, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಕಳೆದ 30-35 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳಿದೆ. ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮುಂಬರುವಂಥ ದಿವಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಾನು ಸರಿಪಡಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So let me go across to Mohammad Wajullah first. Mohammad, is it storm in a teacup or a real headache for Pralhad Joshi?
Well, this is just going to be a hiccup as far as what I feel, Kartika, because the mutt that we are talking about and the seers that have gathered together are minute compared to the 1,000 seers that are present in the Lingayat community. And keeping in mind that they're talking about Pralhad Joshi, he's a very strong leader that comes from Dharwad, and Dharwad is a BJP belt and a strong Lingayat belt. But most of the Lingayat leaders in the Dharwad region have gone on to support Pralhad Joshi. But this particular mutt that we are talking about is the Dingaleshwar mutt, where this Swamiji has come out and said that they are unhappy with Pralhad Joshi. They have not gone on to say that they are unhappy with the BJP, or they are directly hinting that the BJP has been doing something wrong. It's just that particular candidate that about whom they have spoken. And if we speak to the locals over there, they have a sense and they have a feeling that the Swamiji himself wants to come on the forefront of political battle, and that is why he seems to be giving out these leaflets with regards to Pralhad Joshi. But as far as the Yediyurappa has said it, so it's the final word in the BJP and in Dharwad. Well, Pralhad Joshi's seat won't go. So it seems to be a hiccup as of now. But like Brijesh said, if they change Pralhad Joshi's candidature, then it is going to be a big embarrassment for the BJP.
I'm also joined by senior journalist KV Prasad. Mr. Prasad, I think story is less about Pralhad Joshi, and I think it's more about Yediyurappa, a candidate, a politician who has been retired, has the most say in Karnataka BJP. Imagine, Pralhad Joshi is a functional politician, and who is defending him? A retired politician. What does it tell me about Karnataka BJP? That's the question.
Well, I think, Karthikeya, you're right in that manner. The fact is, Mr. Yediyurappa has proved the fact that he cannot be dispensed with. And the BJP, post the Karnataka Assembly elections, had to install his son as the party chief in that state. That it speaks a lot about the way BJP and the symbiotic relationship with Yediyurappa and the people of Karnataka and the Lingayat community in particular. Well, here I feel there is a pressure point being exerted. Maybe the fact that this seer pointed out that the treatment meted out by Mr. Joshi to the Lingayat leader in Mr. Yediyurappa, almost blaming him for his removal as chief minister and a couple of other issues that he raised. So there is a pressure point that he's creating. If what we heard from the gentleman from Bangalore, it could be that he has some political ambition. Well, I just read a report which says he has denied it. Well, that's up to him. He says, the seers are not going to be in contest or something like that. Okay, be that as it may. I think there is a peculiar issue. The BJP will need to tackle it. But surely, if Mr. Joshi continues, he will be pulled a notch or two because he will owe a lot more to Mr. Yediyurappa and Vijendra, because having defended him in a face of maybe a resistance, I would put it. It's not an upheaval, big upheaval, as Mr. Najib had told us. So it's a resistance that is coming in. So the party will have to handle it with the required finesse.
There's another thing, BJP is a national party. BJP is not a regional party. So when the Gaudas talk about their own issues, it's okay because, they're the regional parties. They can talk about the Gauda issues. But the BJP gets projected as the Lingayat party. Is it advantage BJP or is it disadvantage BJP? Because national party in any state is a party for all. But in Karnataka is one state where it continues to get projected as a Lingayat party.
Well, for the last 2 decades or so, the BJP has built upon that community. So it is not easy to shed off that tag, right? While they are trying to be a catch-all party by the fact that they're expanding their base, but the last assembly elections proved did not really do well. Even though the areas in the Bangalore area and surrounds where Mr. Modi had done the roadshow, the results showed up. But rest of the country, rest of the state, the results were different. So obviously, the pulls and pressures of the two dominant communities, which continue to play major stakes in the Karnataka elections, the BJP cannot let go of its core voters, right? It might get a projection. It might try to expand its base as it is trying to do in other parts of southern India too, in particular, the kind of southern push it is doing, whether it is Kerala, whether it is try to have some tie-up in Andhra and stuff like that. So I presume the BJP may find it difficult to shed that tag off. The only way it can do is try and expand its voter base to other communities.
Let me go across to Mohammad Wajilullah. Mohammad Wajilullah, you told me that's going to be a storm in a teacup. It's nothing much to count for. But it also tells it about the weight of Yediyurappa in the Karnataka politics. Anything big happens, it almost boils down to Yediyurappa. Sadanand Gowda was heard cribbing last week around. Mr. BOMMAI, I don't recall his public activity. Why is BJP in a limbo despite such a strong organization which it enjoys in Karnataka?
Well, the reason why Yediyurappa is important, Karthikeya, let me just give you some fact. Last assembly election, Congress fielded 46 candidates in the Lingayat belt, out of which 37 won. And the BJP fielded 69 candidates in the Lingayat belt, and out of which 15 won. This is because they had removed Yediyurappa from the candidature they've made, and this made the Lingayat feel that they were insulted because that big leader of their own community has been shunted out. And when it comes to the Lingayat, however they may be disgruntled with the party, they will make sure that they vote for a Lingayat candidate itself, whoever it is. And if it is associated with the BJP, they will vote for the party and for Yediyurappa. So if we see the way things have changed with the Lingayat community now and with the Pralhad Joshi issue that has come up, it clearly gives you the idea that the Lingayat factor is important. I also spoke to SM Jamdar. He's one of the prominent Lingayat leaders, activists, and he clearly told us that the issue is so big that even though the caste census issue comes into the picture, Lingayat will still continue to vote for a Lingayat leader. And though they are shunted by the BJP right now, they have not shown the support that they used to show to the BJP. They still have this resonance with Yediyurappa. They still have this attachment with Yediyurappa. And that will continue to go on for the things that Yediyurappa has done for that community.
Karthikeya, which I would like to add is that, you're talking about dependence on Yediyurappa, you're talking dependence on Lingayat community and all. If you look at pan India, wherever BJP has performed surgery, by surgery I mean removal of top leaders, removal of cabinet and chief ministers completely, they have always given the local party organization time of at least 10 months to 1 year, where, or 1.5 years, 2 years, where, you have the time to bounce back. The kind of surgery that was attempted to perform in Karnataka, that was too close for comfort. What BL Santosh wanted to do was like, less than 6 months or 5 months before the election, and it boomeranged very badly. There are ways to deal with the situation, and the way it was said that, all the old leaders will be brushed aside, young people will come out, and, the story started emerging of how Yediyurappa is being sidelined. The BJP did not have the time to rebound or recalibrate. These things are done when dependence on Lingayat community has there for 20 plus years. These things are done when you have at least 1.5 to 2 years to perform, make sure that, your people are in place where you can effect changes on the landscape. There was no such time. And so bad was the boomerang that BJP when Congress won Karnataka, the BJP went on without leader opposition for good 4-5 months. And ultimately they were forced to go back to Yediyurappa's son, which made the situation all the more embarrassing for them.
So, Mr. Prasad, it tells us one thing very clearly. You can like him, you can dislike him, but you cannot ignore him. And his name is Yediyurappa. And a supplementary to that statement, is there a Yediyurappa alternative within Bharatiya Janata Party today? Do they have any other Lingayat leader who can replace Yediyurappa?
Well, they tried with that experiment in the last assembly elections when they changed Mr. Yediyurappa midway, and we see the repercussions, right? And we heard both your other fellow panelists tell us. So that's one experiment that failed and flopped miserably, despite the fact that Karnataka is considered to be the gateway for BJP always, right? But never has the party got a majority of its own. That's a fact in the assembly elections. Of course, in the last Lok Sabha, 25 out of 28 seats, pretty credible. But now to try and repeat that with all the internal dynamics at play, because surely you also have that murmurs coming out over the ticket distribution. There have been a lot of stories written about that. People who are talking about how Yediyurappa is cornering or trying to get his favorites in, which of course is not, it's disquieting for others. So I think that's why the BJP central leadership would have to weigh in, because the whole thing that it's not to be projected that Mr. Yediyurappa and his son are controlling the party. Everything is controlled by them. There are protests in other parts of Karnataka. Some states, there are issues. So it's not that Congress doesn't have it. Congress too have it. Probably JDS have some internal issues. But the BJP, which wants to do repeat, if not do better than 25 seats, will have to really do a lot more, a fine balancing act here, I feel, Karthikeya.
Thank you, all of you. I think the bottom line of this conversation is that you can't ignore Yediyurappa, and he's a leader who has been retired by the party, but he has not been retired by either his community or the people of his state. It is for this reason when Pralhad Joshi needs a defense, it doesn't come from the state BJP chief, it doesn't come from the adhikaris who have been sent from Delhi, it doesn't come from the former cabinet ministers, it comes from a retired chief minister, a retired politician, and his name is BS Yediyurappa.